Fabi, I just want to tell you, Yasser just called your position dodgy. Would you agree with his assessment?
Much worse than dodgy. I thought I was like close to lost. I wasn't sure. I don't know what I was doing. Okay, b6, I'm kind of freestyling, but I can still play like
e6, right?
Yeah, I can play e6 here. I mean, maybe a3. I wasn't sure. Like maybe it's a bit better for me. Maybe it's close to equal. But then I got some inspiration.
What type of inspiration? What made you play this d6? Obviously, you were aiming for some sort of a King's Indian approach.
You know, I recently played a game against Ding in some sort of King's Indian, where the bishop was very often going to b7, and I thought, okay, the bishop on f4, it can't be very good for white, so why not? And then it didn't look very good after d5. I really didn't like my position. And, okay, I think he played well. Even I thought bishop d3 was quite subtle, but quite nice compared to maybe the more natural bishop e2, but bishop d3 is a nice move. And then, okay, we got this disgusting position. I mean, he played quite well. I didn't want to play c5, but I didn't know what to do. I mean, c6, he just castles, and okay, I take, he takes back, and I'm getting kind of crushed.
What were the strategical issues that you were trying to solve with this c5?
Well, I mean, if I play bishop c8, he plays b4. This is the one, like, first point that I can't really get my bishop to a good square. So I don't want him to get b4 because then my knight is stuck on a6 and I have no counterplay. So at least c5. I remembered that, like, in some types of King's Indian positions, Leela, who is very optimistic for the black pieces, was sometimes saying that you can play a5 and c5 and it's not losing. And I thought maybe I'll like, it's difficult to achieve b4. At least I don't get overrun. And then, yeah, bishop g5 was an interesting idea. I was actually just more worried about like bishop a4, but okay. Mm-hmm. Bishop g5 is also quite interesting because he just provokes h6, he attacks the pawn. And then, of course, here, like, I don't understand why not a4. I mean, just play a4 in 1 second, castle. Like, I'll play knight a6, knight b4, and then rook dg1. And, yeah, maybe it's not, like, dead lost. Like, maybe it's not so easy to break through, but it probably is winning in the long run.
But you don't have any compensation on the queen side anymore.
Yeah, I just have to try to hope that once he opens it up, which he can do with g5 at some moment, then like I don't lose on the spot. And then maybe it gets confusing and my knight on b4 in some long way position, maybe it will actually attack or do something. But yeah, then he played g5. I was extremely happy. I mean, I think I like very quickly took, just because like, after, okay, knight g5, king g8, I mean, I was surprised by bishop g5, but at least I get knight h5 here. And, okay, if he stops a4 now, then, okay, knight h5 maybe, and knight on f4. It's not like, or maybe knight a6 first. At least I get counterplay. And when he took with the bishop, yeah, of course, b5 is like, I get some counterplay suddenly.
Yeah.
So he went for the attack. I wasn't sure exactly. I mean, there's a lot of, like, yeah, b4 was tempting here as well. b4, take, knight b5. I wasn't sure, some kind of mess. But when I saw this, like, queen d7, and then I was expecting that he would take, and I think I was expecting h5, king g7, hg6, rook h8, rook g1, and this position I thought was unclear. Yeah, like fg6, I thought it was unclear because, okay, his king is also weak in the long term, so I was aiming for this, and I thought maybe like knight g5, but then, okay, I take, or maybe I don't even have to take, but I thought I'd take in rook 8, and it's just fine, so.
There's no checkmate coming immediately.
Yeah, and then he sacked a pawn. I was very surprised, because it doesn't look like, but yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I had to find this idea, which was, and suddenly I'm better. But I wasn't sure. I thought maybe bishop h6, like, am I actually better here or not? Because I was going to take queen g7, but then he plays queen to h2, let's say, and king, or maybe queen h1, I don't know. But then like king d2 and some ideas.
There's still some pressure you have to deal with.
That's what I was at least thinking. But then bishop d2, like, he ends up with this really dead bishop, but maybe it's not so easy.
And at this point, at least you're not risking much.
Yeah, I risk nothing here. I mean, he maybe constructs a fortress, but I'm up a pawn. My king is not getting attacked anytime soon. Yeah, and I thought maybe this is like a draw, but maybe not. I
you
wasn't
really
sure.
found the best way. This knight b6 was very important.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's a draw or not, because if I play g3, it's definitely a draw.
The computer was saying G3
I'm
as
sure,
the best one,
I'm sure that this is a draw now.
but it's a draw
Yeah,
at
yeah.
low depth.
Yeah, I just don't see a way through to make progress because now I can't attack the knight on G1, I can't attack the F pawn, and I totally cut my bishop out. But this way, if I trade pawns on G3 at some moment in whatever version, then yeah, I wasn't sure if he would allow it because he can also go here, but I actually thought if I bring my king to H5, bishop to H4, I also win. And this, yeah, I wasn't 100% sure, but knight to A1, it seemed like I should be winning here, and then it took me a while, but I spotted this like king F7. Although I think maybe this is also winning. This is knight D4, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's maybe not 100% clear because knight E1, B3, knight D3, maybe still some chances. So what I did was much cleaner, I guess.
Yeah, you definitely timed that F3 correctly. Congratulations, Fabi. A great way to start your campaign of defending the title. We'll see you next round.
Thanks.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Cristian, and thank you, Fabi. And